Yo, Cover One crew, what is going on? Hope you guys are doing well. Happy Monday to everybody. The NFL draft is now concluded. We know where these players sit and reside. So what's next? We got fantasy football, dynasty fantasy football, quarterbacks and wide receiver rookie rankings, because we know the drafts are going to be kicking off here immediately, basically. I even got one starting today, if you can believe it, for rookie drafts and dynasty. I love it. It's absolutely gorgeous. But we got to understand the values. The values have now changed for some of these players based on their landing spot and how they're going to potentially do in the 2023 season and thereafter. So let's kick it off with quarterbacks and wide receivers. Get you in the know where these values sit for all these players. So jumping right into quarterbacks, and my 1, 2, 3, it is CJ Stroud, number one for me. I have not wavered in this process. I do believe CJ Stroud will be the better quarterback, likely you want to say throughout the career of these top three. But I understand why everyone's thinking Bryce Young. However, I do get scared off with the height, so that's why I got CJ Stroud as my number one. I love what the Houston Texans were able to do in this draft. They added a lot of offensive weapons, a lot of talent. That defense is going to be stellar under DeMeco Ryans, and they're going to, give the ball back to this offense more often than you think. As long as CJ Stroud continues his progression upside, he's got a lot of weapons to throw to, and I think the limit is off the charts here, and the floor is very safe for a CJ Stroud. Bryce Young, like I said, the height does. He's not my number two, and the height does scare me. Yes, he's going to a team with Frank Reich, who is something. I mean, we did say he was an offensive mastermind, but I mean, he's kind of cooled off. He's still going to be doing the play calling. I just want to understand what they're going to do in Carolina. Yes, they added some talent, so we'll see. I am a big fan of Bryce Young. I think he is, definitely day one ready, and I mean, I think that's what everyone's clouding right now. CJ Stroud is day one ready too, so I like Stroud. I like Young at 1 and 2, and I think that's pretty fair right now. Anthony Richardson, number 3, supreme rushing upside. I mean, they're saying he's likely going to start day one, and that's fine. He is raw. They're going to throw him to the wolves, but they're going to make this offense tailored around what he can do extremely well, and that is running the football. So you're going to see him and JT running up everybody's culo. I've said it before, and I think this uplifts JT as well. Anthony Richardson, number 3, supreme rushing upside is coming. You got to believe it. Number 4, Hendon Hooker, talents of a hooker. And, I mean, the talents are off the charts, no kidding. And he lands on a team like the Detroit Lions who, stunned a lot of people with how they drafted, but they said, F your values, we're going to do and build the way we want. And Hendon Hooker, to me, this is a beautiful landing spot. He gets to sit behind Jared Goff, learn a little bit, and then he's going to hopefully take the top off, in the next, hopefully the next season or year two, potentially. But then that means he's going to be 27 years old before he sees the field. So I understand why everyone's pushing Hendon Hooker down the board just a little bit. But, I mean, if he does find the field in 2024, this offense is loaded with supreme talent. Jahmyr Gibbs, Jamison Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Good Lord, Hendon Hooker. I mean, it's a lot of good praise for this hooker. No kidding. Number 5, Will Levis, Tennessee Titans. And what are the Titans? Are they wanting to rebuild? Are they, continuing down the path to compete for playoffs? I think they're teetering on this, fine line of what they want to be. Lots of trade rumors this offseason involving Derrick Henry. So we'll see, man. If they do not make the playoffs this year, I would not be shocked to see the Titans do a blow up and rebuild. Will Levis then could potentially, start for this club or at least compete. So, I mean, that's why I got him at number 5. Cannon of an arm. You know what he can do with that arm and that passing talent, but he's definitely got to round out the rest of his game before I get the warm and fuzzies on this man. Number 6, Stetson Bennett, and a lot of people are down on Bennett, and I don't understand why. He is a quality quarterback. He's not great in any aspect of eliteness, but he's a good quality quarterback, and landing with Sean McVay could be something decent, especially with Matthew Stafford saying that he wanted to retire this offseason, potentially wanted to retire with that shoulder problem, arm problem. So Stetson Bennett, to me, could be a sneaky draft pick. Wait and see what happens. So obviously you're getting Bennett really low in the rookie drafts, or you could even probably get him off the waiver wire once drafts are done, but he's a sneaky one I would put on my taxi squad, and I got him ranked at number 6. Number 7, Jake Haener for New Orleans Saints, former Fresno State quarterback, and the rest of this quarterback list is a little bit muddled. Haener only because, okay, we got Derek Carr, also Fresno State guy, and I mean, we'll see how that goes and transpires. Someone gets injured, we'll see. Haener's got a long road ahead of him. It's all about potential. He's a good quarterback. He's got some upside, but I mean, there's a lot of obstacles standing in his way, as is for number 8, DTR, Dorian Thompson-Robinson, one of my favorites in this draft class as a sneaky sleeper quarterback. He is a very talented prospect, and he would be in a very good situation, excuse me, here in Cleveland, especially if something happens to Deshaun Watson, whether it's legal off-field issues that continue to come up, or if Watson does go down with an injury and Thompson-Robinson does uplift his game. He's a running upside quarterback. He's got a good arm, and he's got good ability. He's played a ton of football, so there's a lot of experience on these tires. I like DTR a lot. Clayton Tune, number 9, Arizona Cardinals. The Kyler Murray effect. When will Kyler return from that ACL injury? He likely is going to start on the pup this year. So we'll see. I mean, they have a backup plan already with Heineke, I can't remember the backup quarterback right now. Heineke's in Atlanta. But I mean, Tune, you never know. With a good training camp, we saw what happened in San Francisco with Brock Purdy. So you never know with some of these quarterbacks. If they have a good camp, they play off the chain, they could find their way to start in football games. Tune is an interesting one, but I would likely leave him on the draft board. Jaren Hall, number 10, rounding out my quarterbacks. I'm not a huge fan, but we got to understand what is the succession plan for a Kirk Cousins. Will they re-sign Kirk Cousins? Will they keep this thing going? We'll see. I mean, with the Minnesota Vikings, this is a make or break season for them. So Jaren Hall is kind of one of those guys you just want to see what happens, but I'm not overly convinced at this point that he's going to do a heap of damage. That's for sure. Let's go to wide receivers, and I'm going to shock a lot of people. Everybody's got JSN, Jackson Smith-Njigba as number 1. This is kind of 1A, 1B for me, but I'm bucking the trend. I'm going Jordan Addison as my number 1. It is not a hot take whatsoever, even though I do believe Jackson Smith-Njigba is going to be likely the better, more consistent talent overall. Jordan Addison is just a beast when he separates the football. No more Adam Thielen. He is going to slot in as that wide receiver 2 behind Justin Jefferson, and you're going to see a J.J. Addison show on the weekly. Excuse me. But Jordan Addison can separate like nobody's business on the field. He will get open, especially with coverage being pulled to JJ's side all the time. Jordan Addison could get free release all day long, and you're going to see a lot of scoring potential from a Jordan Addison. While I do understand the Jackson Smith-Njigba argument that they could move on from Tyler Lockett next season potentially, and then it's JSN and DK Metcalf. I get it. So pick your poison. I do not hate picking either one of these gentlemen because I do believe they're going to have a very good career in the NFL. But as we said today, I just love the upside and the potential path to volume and path to targets for a Jordan Addison playing with Justin Jefferson. Going to be off the chain good. JSN number 2 in my books. Number 3 is Zay Flowers. Okay, and here's the thing. So what are we going to see from Lamar Jackson this year will tell a giant tale of what this offense could potentially be next season, especially in the pass game. They've loaded up on offensive pieces in the wide receiver room to help Lamar Jackson finally come, get all the weapons he wanted. Zay Flowers is a supreme, fantastic talent, but with OBJ there, I wonder how this is going to go. A lot of mouths to feed. Lamar Jackson has never been a 4,000-yard passer in this league. Does that change in 2023? Very possible, but you got to believe they're still going to run the ball at least 500 times, if not more, in this offense. So you got to wonder who's got to take the back seat in year 1 in this offensive changeover. With all these weapons, Zay Flowers is going to have his opportunities, but it might be a little meek to start. But I still love the value, especially if it's an OBJ deal only 1 year. Zay Flowers could have a bigger role next season in 2024. Number 4, Josh Downs, my guy. And you guys knew I was going to do this. Excuse me, you knew I was going to do this because Josh Downs to me is like how everybody slept on Amon-Ra St. Brown when he got drafted. I was telling y'all he was like a Robert Woods, Bobby Trees. And you guys are sleeping again on a Josh Downs. How can you do this? This man is like a Wes Welker with speed. He catches everything to come his way. His route run ability is crazy. And you know that Anthony Richardson is going to be looking for that safety blanket. And, I mean, you got tight ends and you got your slot to be there. So you know Josh Downs could be a fabulous piece in this offense with Michael Pittman. I get they got Isaiah McKenzie, but that's not going to last in my opinion. Josh Downs is a clear-cut elite talent at the slot receiver position. Number 5, Quentin Johnston, LA Chargers. And, okay, I could have lifted him up a little higher. He's got great wheels, great speed. I comped him as a Cordero Patterson, number 2. And, I mean, mean, okay, I think Patterson's hands are better than Johnston. That's why I got him at number 5. There is, the double catch problem, the body catching that I do not like, and I understand, the rumors of Keenan Allen potentially leaving this club. You could see a future of Mike Williams and Quentin Johnston, which is taller wide receivers that do have speed. I think they're going to try to get Johnston involved a lot in the flats, and because he does have great speed, and that the catch, the hook and catch, and then turn and run is absolutely unbelievable in a Quentin Johnston. So he will put up points. I just have some questions on the hands, which is why I drop him number 5. Number 6, Jalen Hyatt, New York Giants, and this wide receiver room has been a crapshoot for basically the entire time Danny Pennies has been there. Daniel Jones. And Hyatt is a good wide receiver, could take the top off of a defense. I mean, is he a one-year wonder back at Tennessee? We'll see, but I do like Jalen Hyatt at number 6. I think the upside is definitely there in an offense and a team under Brian Dable that is going to continue to exploit defenses, and Hyatt's going to be a big part of that as well. Number 7, a big riser up my board, Jonathan Mingo. Okay, great pick, man. And now you got Bryce Young, you got Miles Sanders, you got Jonathan Mingo in the mix. You had to rebuild this wide receiver room after you traded away a DJ Moore. Mingo's got size. He's got crazy one-handed catch ability. He's got upside for days. So he's just got to round out a little bit of his game when it comes to route tree ability. And I think Jonathan Mingo is going to be a pretty good wide receiver in this NFL. Is he going to be elite? We'll see. But I think he's going to be a pretty darn good wide receiver in the pros. Number 8, Tank Dell. And this is why I'm saying I got CJ Stroud at number 1. He's got so many wide receiver options now, and Tank Dell is one of these guys. Yes, he is supremely undersized. Yes, that could be a problem in the NFL, but when you look at this man's speed, you look at this man's route run ability, he is going to get open. They're going to utilize him in gadget situations, and they will try to get him the ball. He is like a better Kadarius Toney, if that makes a lot of sense, because he is that good, and I think, his game, his tape film definitely won me over. Tank Dell is a gem. Marvin Mims, Denver Broncos at number 9. Excuse me. And I think that, Marvin Mims is a very good talent. I just don't understand how he's going to fit in year 1 with the Denver Broncos unless they potentially have an option to move on from another wide receiver. Could they play him in the slot? They still got other wide receivers that occupy that space, but I think it could be a little bit slow moving for a Marvin Mims as we sit today. So that's why I got him sitting at number 9. Number 10, Cleveland Browns, Cedric Tillman. Great pick, man. And I think Tillman was one of these underrated wide receivers. He is a big body talent. He's got catching ability. You team him up with a guy like Amari Cooper, with a Deshaun Watson, with a good run game still in Cleveland. They're going to do some damage with this trio of wide receivers that they have now, and Tillman is going to be a focal point, I think, in this offense as they move forward. Number 11, Kansas City, Rashee Rice. I'm not overly sold on Rice, but I mean, because he's with Patrick Mahomes, you got to lift him up the board. And when it comes to any wide receiver talent that hasn't really played on the field or a rookie for these Chiefs, it's Justin Ross for me from last season. I think everybody that's in Dynasty right now, go and get Justin Ross right now. Trade for his services absolutely before we start looking at rookies like Rashee Rice, because Sky Moore and Justin Ross should be big target heavy share in the Kansas City offense. You want to believe. But Justin Ross over Rashee Rice absolutely is where I'm going. Number 12, Kayshon Boutte. New England Patriots buck the trend. They go wide receiver a couple times. And okay, Boutte is a very interesting one because he is the only wide receiver in this class that I think truly we don't know how he's going to be in the NFL. Lots of red flags on his game, injury history, character concerns, effort issues. We'll see what Kayshon Boutte is going to be. If he does, he's straight up boom or bust, man. It's going to be no in between. Either he's going to boom or he's just going to be absolutely dreadful, and he's going to be cut faster than you can imagine. But Kayshon Boutte in 2021 was one of the best wide receivers in all of college football, scored 9 touchdowns in 6 games. He was off the charts good. I got him as a lesser Jarvis Landry. He still has ability. I'm hoping and praying that he's going to be able to figure all the stuff out in the mentals, because he is a very talented wide receiver. Hands for days. He will catch everything that come his way. Kayshon Boutte, I'm still a big fan. Just can't promote you like I used to because, I mean, the off-field stuff does concern me just a little bit. Number 13, Xavier Hutchinson, Houston. I'm telling y'all, Houston just went greatness in this draft. Xavier Hutchinson fell down the board. He is such a good wide receiver, a secondary piece in any offense, and I think if he gets his opportunity, he's going to flourish with a CJ Stroud. The catch rate radius is crazy. The body balance is there. Yeah, he doesn't got wheels for days, but he's got more than enough to make moves in the open field. He's not just a big guy. Red zone opportunity. Hutchinson is one of these guys. Yes, there's risk to this one in the rank at 13, but I mean, I do like Hutchinson a lot. That's why he's rising up my board big time right now. Number 14, Tyler Scott for the Chicago Bears. I get it. The wide receiver room is getting a little bit crowded at this point. Scott might be a project player, but he's got lots of speed, lots of wheels, and I think that they're going to try to utilize him in the deep game as well. He is a talented wide receiver, very good hands. He could get open, but I mean, he might be just, the hit and miss 1 out of 4 weeks that you're getting top-end fantasy productivity from over 10 points because he scores a deep touchdown pass. But I mean, with Justin Fields' cannon of an arm, he's going to be able to try to go deep, and I do believe they could be playing Tyler Scott a little bit more as the season does go on, maybe like week 8, week 9, unless there's an injury early on. Rounded out number 15, Jayden Reed, Green Bay. I get it. Everybody's all hyped on Jayden Reed. I like his game too. He's got good wheels, got good upside, doesn't separate as much as I wanted to see from his film, and there's an injury history that does concern me. So you got to understand, you got Christian Watson, you got Romeo Doubs. They're going to be the default number 1, 2 in that offense this season. You got tight end help support for a Jordan Love. There is no more Aaron Rodgers, so I don't know why everyone's believing that Jordan Love is going to be able to support multiple targets at over 550 to 850 in yardage and 6 to 8 touchdowns. Going to be very tough the first year, even though Reed does have good upside. You got a lot of youthful talent at the wide receiver position, but I still like him at number 15. He is a good bench stash, taxi squad stash if you're looking for some wide receiver talent. So there you have it. That is top 10 quarterbacks and top 15 wide receivers for your rookie drafts, which will be coming. I mean, get ready. Fantasy football season is coming. I love it. I'm so excited. Football's just, 131 days away? Oh, get your popcorn ready. Oh, man, I love football so much. But nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments. Give me your thoughts. Who do you guys got in your ranks? You disagree with any of mine? Definitely throw them in the comments. We can talk it out. Always up for a good debate. And, what else can I say? But we'll see you next time. I am out.